Morning, it's day 149 on the Appalachian Trail, and we are entering the wilderness, the 100-mile wilderness. So I'm going to leave that there. Says, let me see. There are no places to obtain supplies or get help until A-Ball Bridge, 100 miles north. Do not attempt this section unless you have a minimum of 10 days supplies and are fully equipped. This is the longest wilderness section on the entire AT, and its difficulty should not be underestimated. Good hiking from the MATC, Maine Appalachian Trail Club. All right, there we go. Going over the wet bogs, bog boards forever. Looks like Maine is just wet today. Wet, rocky, and rooty. Sugar. That was dumb. This is a 100-mile wilderness for sure. Oh, and there's goggles. Oh no. But it's just flattened out, which is a good reprieve in this heat. Still humid, still hot, but we're moving at quite a clip. And we're right along a river, so that might be giving us some of the little cooler feeling, but I don't know. We're thinking of trying to, instead of doing 15 or 16, maybe do 18 or 19. And that'll, in effect, shorten tomorrow, because I don't think there's a good option to lengthen tomorrow. So either way, we're moving along, trying to stay hydrated. It's faster up there, slower here. That's why we're trying to be down here. Make sure everything is out. It's got a little bit there, it's kind of deep, other than that, it's okay. Yeah, and just watching where the big slippery rocks are. Yeah. Make sure your foot goes down in there first. Yeah. It took you about a minute to cross. And make sure a foot is planted before you try another one. And your poles are planted too. Yeah. Because they tend to like slide down in there. You're such a ham. Yeah, it's mountain goat hikes, everybody. Of course it is. Let's just keep going before the horseflies get you. Just focus all the way through. There you go. Did it. Done did it.
Take advantage of it.
They know when you're defenseless.
Yeah. That one I need to take care of. All right.
That's ripping today. So, we got a cloudy. Day 149, 15 miles just ended. I just did my bear hang. Wait for it. There it is, right in the corner. And I set up my tent. Here's my tent. Sorry, a little shaky here. Hit the pad, the double pad system, because I have a slow leak in my pad, and then I'll put my sleeping quilt over it, fill up my pillows, and that's about it. So yeah, I still have to fill up the water for tonight, and then hang out for a little bit, and then go to sleep. And This ends day 149, Appalachian Trail, first day in the wilderness. So that's a big deal. So we celebrate one day in the wilderness. We have less than 100 miles to go on our journey. Big deal. Good morning. It is day 150 on the Appalachian Trail, and it is also day 2 in the wilderness. Day 150, like several of its predecessors, starts with a climb. It's a 1,000-foot climb, followed by a little ridge, and then a 500-foot climb. And then multiple climbs throughout the day. So our plan is to go 21 miles, which will normally be doable. I'm leaving at 6:30. Everybody else left probably between 5:30 and 6. I just have had a lot of difficulty getting out of bed because my pad deflates and I reinflate it throughout the night. But if all goes well, we have 7 days of hiking left, including Katahdin and including today. So I think we have several river crossings, which is kind of the major characteristics of the wilderness here. So, but I'm climbing now, so this is the this is the way it's going to be for a little while. Probably 2 hours of climbing, because I guess it gets really steep. So we'll see what we can see. As you may have figured out, the 100-mile wilderness is going to be, I think, shorter clips, and I might spin them together so that you get to see the highlights and not mumbo jumbo. So, and trying to preserve battery. All right, so see you up trail. Hit another milestone on this climb, the 2,100 mile mark. Only 97.4 miles to go, and I will have completed the Appalachian Trail. 97.4. We can do this. We can do it. About 3 miles in. This is Barren Mountain. Let's get a visual from above. I don't know. Oh my God. Several years ago, this plane with a father-son combo crashed into this mountain. Fortunate thing is both the father and son walked away from this, unsure of their injuries, but it looks also like this front end, there's a recent tree that fell, so I don't know what it looked like originally, but I guess it was a cloudy day. He and dropped in altitude, didn't realize it, and then crashed into the mountain, and luckily lived. It's crazy though, crazy to see this. Made it to the top of Chairback Mountain. Some nice views. And I think this is the high point of the day. So we'll keep moving. So this is, let's talk about day 150. Ended at a shelter and we were just super tired from 21 miles of hiking. So therefore I just ate, prepared, and went to bed. We did hit 2,100 miles yesterday, which was a huge achievement. Was it yesterday or the day before? Yesterday. Yesterday hit 2,100 miles. So that was the eventful thing. We also hit a couple mountain peaks. But today, day 151, we are heading across our last of the climbs. We are 2 out of the 4 done with climbs. It's only an 11-mile day, which seems like not a lot, but when your legs are tired and you had a 21 yesterday through some arduous conditions, today is a good reprieve. However, there is still some climbing to do before we finish fairly early and then get a well-needed rest before continuing in the 100-mile wilderness. So that's end of day 150, beginning of day 151. I believe the next 3 days after this should be a bit easier. At least not a lot of climbing. We'll probably have to do some water crossings and some rocks and roots, but should be a little cruisy, as people seem to say about the second half of the wilderness, but time will tell. So check in with you as we go. We hit the top of Whitecap Mountain, elevation 3644. We will be heading this way, but there's a view this way, which I think maybe we'll be able to see Mount Washington. So let's go see what we can see. There it is. Probably one of one of our few mountaintop views, if anything, left before we open up to Katahdin. Katahdin is somewhere that way, about 70 miles away. 70 trail miles. Anyhow, here we go. Running and hiding. Hey, today's it's still day 141. We got into camp at I don't know, 1 o'clock. It was an 11-mile day. It just seemed to go. We took lots of breaks and it just went away. So it's the third day in the wilderness, the 100-mile wilderness, which is pretty crazy that we are ripping through it. I mean, it'll be 6 days, which is pretty average. It's, you know, there's people that do it in 3 or 4 days. That's not going to be us. And then tomorrow we have a 15-mile day, which includes a resupply. And so we will we'll get our resupply and some trail magic, which will be really, really nice. And then we have, so that's day 4 of the wilderness. And after that, we will have 4 days left. So right now we're standing at 5 days left before we summit. Hopefully all goes well and we can summit at 5 days from now, which would be August 8th. got word from a friend he may join me on the last couple days in the park. He has to work out the logistics. I can't do that for him, especially since there's really not a lot of cell service and all that, which is, it'll be cool if he can do that. He'll be my surprise guest if it happens. Outside of that, this is, I made a mistake. I said we were going to go over to a view of possibly Mount Washington. Hope you caught that. It was actually of Katahdin, which we couldn't see because it was too hazy today. So 5 days left. This is the third day in the wilderness, and then tomorrow's day 4. So hopefully you're getting something out of this wilderness. It's actually getting a little easier. It was pretty mountainous. Tomorrow we have a small climb. Nothing major from my understanding. We will get our bag drop or a food drop at the Joe Mary road crossing. So I'll share more tomorrow as it comes. Have a good day.